Welcome to Duel School. I'm John Moore. I will be your host with the most. So let's get our first Duel School video underway. I will be teaching you 4 different things that I have learned within the past weekend, and one of them something I already knew, but 3 are things I picked up this weekend at the Arlington Regionals. So let's lay some knowledge on you. Maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't. So pulling the rug's current effect is negate the activation of an effect monster whose effect is activated when a monster was normal summoned, even itself, and destroy the effect monster. So, what does this mean? What can you do with pulling the rug? Pulling the rug used to have a different text, so it's been updated. So, if I summon Tour Guide, and they have a pulling the rug, there goes Tour Guide, no effect. Negated, destroyed. Same with Mathematician. So, a lot of cards that are currently being played, pulling the rug works on. Sinju, Manju, just lots of cards that when they're normal summoned in this format can be pulling the rug. It's a pretty interesting tech card. We saw at regionals a Mathman actually have this happen to it. So what else does this mean? So why is Effect Veiler here? I normal summon my Sinju and I have pulling the rug down. They activate Effect Veiler. The effect is in response to the normal summon. So I may pulling the rug this Effect Veiler. Let's go to option 2. I summon Tour Guide from the Underworld and activate effect. They have Maxx C and chain Maxx C here. I may pulling the rug this Maxx C. This is pretty important stuff to know. It's a pretty cool tech. It's slowly... it was seen at our regionals. It actually caused some pretty big plays, so that's kind of a cool thing. Second up, towers. So, you hear a lot, what's your towers out? How do you beat towers? Are you just not going to be prepared for it? Diamond Crab King is the best out for towers. Well, let me tell you, there are 3 1-card outs to towers in this video. You just need 1 card. So, Reinforcement of the Army is a 1-card out thanks to this card. And if you're playing decks that already play Rhoda, Heroes, Necros, etc., you get way extra use out of this out, and it is Elemental Hero Prisma. Elemental Hero Prisma can send Cyber Dragon from the deck, which is also a 1-card out. So Prisma and Hydra are both 1-cards out. Rhoda to Prisma is an out. All 1-card outs. And so Cyber Dragon can fuse with towers to make Chimera tech. This is something that wasn't commonly known. It hasn't happened a lot. You don't see it on a lot of top decks or side decks. It does take up space because you're siding Prisma, Cyber Dragon, and either putting this in your extra deck or siding it for your extra deck. But there is a huge out to towers in 1 card in 3 separate cards. Rhoda, which goes into Prisma, Prisma itself, send Cyber Dragon and fuse, or the best one, Cyber Dragon and just contact. So that does work on towers, and now you know. Glow Up Bulb has been errated. It is no longer a cost. I don't want people to figure this out the hard way. I did it to an opponent. He didn't know. So if this card is in the graveyard, you can send the top card of your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card. You can only use this effect of Glow Up Bulb once per turn. So even though it says, and if you do, if Glow Up Bulb just sends the card and it gets removed by defissure or macro, it still pops up on the field. So that's very important. It's a huge thing, and you should know this. I didn't know how to explain it properly. I wasn't up to date. I explained it a different way. So that's pretty big. And yeah, so we come back, and finally, we are going to talk about our final card, Juragedo. I had a whole video on this, but I left something out. So, we're going to get into more Juragedo tricks. During either player battle phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, gain 1,000 life points. So I discussed the battle step in my past video. The battle step is any point in time in the battle phase after the start step, which is both players agreeing to go to being able to declare attacks, etc. And there's the end step, basically both players agreeing to exit the battle step. So even if you have used all possible attackers and have nothing set, no Call of the Haunted possible, your opponent can still summon Juragedo because you both have not agreed to exit the battle step. You can summon it after an attack, you can summon it to an attack, you can Somebody could activate Fiendish Chain and Chain Wiretap, and it's after attack declaration, and start it in a new chain still between the attack declaration and damage step. There are a lot of tricks, so if you have any questions, please comment. So here are 2 other tricks. Let's say your opponent, you have a monster on the field, and they attack it with Construct. And you special summon Juragedo in response to attack, causing a replay. So, your opponent now decides to use their Construct to attack Juragedo instead. You can tribute Juragedo in the damage step to boost your monster. And since you tributed it in the damage step instead of the battle step, because it's an attack modifier, your opponent does not get a replay with their attack. So, opponent's monster attacks Juragedo. Juragedo phases out during damage step to boost the other monster. Your opponent's monster no longer gets an attack. It does not cause a replay because battle step has ended and it is damage step, and the monster has disappeared in damage step. So that is a huge trick with Juragedo. I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Duel School with John Moore. Any questions, comments, concerns, things you'd like to see in the future for these videos, please post it in the comments. And I hope it was very educational.